Welcome back to News Night on Metro Television. You know how we love politics on Metro Television, and when it comes to politics these days, without polling, you are just flying blind because polling helps you. And I've heard Member of Parliament for Ifutu, lawyer Afenyo Markin, say there was a point where he thought he had done enough for a particular electoral area, but the poll did show that he was going to lose, or he might lose that particular electoral area. And quickly, they did what needed to be done, but it was all thanks to poll. And that's why we appreciate Global InfoAnalytics, because they have done a poll in the Medina constituency where lawyer Francis, whether it's, I don't know, Javier or Xavier Sosu, is a member of parliament. He's an NDC member of parliament, but the polls are showing something else. And Executive Director, Global InfoAnalytics joins us, says that the candidate is under threat from an independent candidate. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio. If you can share, we can quickly project on the wall and share with us, details of what you're seeing. So quickly, let's move to the slide. Yes, please.
Basically, in the July poll, we picked a signal that Medina was not going well for the incumbent.
Right.
Even though John Mahama was winning, hands down, the MP was not following suit.
Okay.
So we felt we should go back there and do further work.
Okay.
As we normally do. We've done this kind of poll before. We've done it in Second D when a poll showed that the polling was not right for the Second D. We went back there to confirm the situation. Did the same thing for Nsoma Edwejuric. Did the same thing for Ifutu constituency. So this is not something new that we are doing.
Absolutely.
We are not targeting anybody in Medina. Let that be clear. Now, we went there to confirm what the July poll did, or showed us. In the sample, 53% were female, 47% were male.
Okay. Please go on. Kindly make the slides faster.
Yeah. And then the pensioners were 3%, students were 13%, employed 32%, unemployed in Medina 49%.
Wow.
Very, very, very high.
Okay.
In terms of party affiliation, other parties amount to 3%. People who did not disclose their party affiliation, 10%. Floating voters, 20%. MPP, 33%. NDC, 34%.
Wow. And 20% is those who did not disclose.
10%, but 20 were floating voters.
Oh, floating voters.
Floating
all right.
voters.
Good. Okay.
Now, when it comes to the performance of the MP, we ask them to rate the performance of their MP. Among the sample we pick. Excellent, 1%. Very good or good, 15%. Average, 14%. Poor or very poor, 62%. No opinion, 8%. That is the warning sign.
Okay, can we go back to that particular slide? Yeah. That 62% of the people say the MP is performing badly, correct?
Yes.
62% of the people said the MP is performing badly. Can we go to that particular slide?
It's back. Back.
Okay, all right. I'm not sure the person is following what we are doing here, but kindly bring the next slide after this one.
Okay, let's stay here.
Okay.
Okay, then we ask them that who do you intend to, I think they've gone too far.
Right.
They've gone too far.
Can we just kindly please follow what we are doing? If you're the one operating, kindly follow what we are doing so that you follow the discussion on it, because we cannot work without the data. We want to speak to data. We don't want to say it from our head. So if we can go back to the slide where it shows the performance of the MP, it has 62% on it. That page has 62% on it. But I also have it before me, so I can, yes, this one.
Yes. So 62% of voters we interviewed in Medina are saying that their MP has performed poorly or very poor. And that is not a good score mark at all. Next.
Can we have the next slide, please?
I think it's gone too far.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I'll work with what we have here.
Let's just stick here.
Okay.
No, because I wanted to look at the MPP primaries before we come to the main race here. Now, we asked voters who they intend to vote for in the Medina constituency in the December elections. The options were Honorable Sosu, the incumbent, Prince Moses Zachary, the independent candidate, and an MPP candidate who at the moment is not known, and then someone else. And in the poll, someone else 6%, Sosu 23%.
Wow.
MPP 27%, independent candidate 44%.
Why is that? I don't get it.
That is very emphatic.
Why is this person?
We understand he used to be an NDC candidate who was going to vie for the Medina seat and was disqualified. So disgruntled NDC candidate for Medina. He is going independent from sources that we've gathered. So he's going independent. If he goes independent, it's going to be a very, very tough race for Sosu in Medina. Next.
Okay, can we have the next slide?
Right. Now, stay here. Let's look at the electoral areas that we interviewed, we polled. We polled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 16 electoral areas we sampled. Not all of them.
Right.
Let's look. Oyarifa, Sosu 20%, MPP 27%, the independent candidate 53% in Oyarifa.
Wow.
In Pantine, Sosu 7%, MPP 29%, independent candidate 57%. In Okataban, 18%, Sosu 14% MPP, 64% independent candidate. In Medina West, a stronghold that Sosu should win, 38% Sosu, 13% in MPP, and 41% the independent candidate. In Tatana South, Sosu 13%, MPP 38%, independent 49%. Social Welfare North, Sosu 15%,
wow.
MPP 21%, independent candidate 51%.
I just want to stop you there. So you're saying that even if we did not have an independent candidate, the current MP, the incumbent MP, is still performing lower than the NPP candidate.
Yes,
I think just what it shows.
What is happening is a split in NDC that is giving the independent candidate a match. I mean,
right.
the performance. We can see that in the numbers down the line. We'll see where the support is coming from. Right. Then you can see what these numbers mean. In Social Welfare South, it is 11% Sosu, 14 MPP, 64% independent candidate. In Nkwantanan West, Sosu 25%, MPP 63%, independent 9%. In Nkwantanan East, Sosu 47%, in MPP 40%, and independent 5%. So you can see that Sosu has just won in Nkwantanan East. The rest was won by independent candidate, and then in Nkwantanan West was won by the MPP. So out of the 9 electoral areas, the independent candidate is leading in 7 of them.
Wow.
This is the breakdown per electoral area. Now let's go further.
Let's go. Can we go to the next slide, please? Because I wanted to know, what's the we will come back to that. Okay. We will come back to that. But I wanted to know what reasons were assigned to why he's performing poorly. I mean, he's a lawyer, and I know that he respects human rights. Did LGBTQ, for instance, conversation come up in it? What were the reasons? No, I mean, there were some rumors swirling in the constituency. I think the biggest challenge Sosu has, from what we've picked on the ground, is that the executives in Medina are divided. Executives are divided?
Are divided in Medina.
You mean the NDC executives are?
Absolutely. We picked that intelligence from the ground. And then there's some rumors about his support for his civil rights activism and defense for everybody's right. And they are saying that he is going to defend LGBTQ rights. So that is really sending some kind of wrong signals in the area. So he needs to address that. Now, what about, I heard about the issue with his family as well. Did it not come up in the poll? No, people were expressing some grievances, but those were not something that we went out to find out. What exactly about his family were they talking about? Well, we heard that he sent his family to the US on the pretext that they are under threat here because of his activism. And people are linking that to the LGBT defense that they are alleging. So he needs to address some of these issues head on. Otherwise, if it summits, it's going to really affect his chances in Medina. And Medina have a very strong Muslim community, and that has to be addressed urgently. Now, let's look at the party affiliation and who they were voting for. MPP people, 18% were voting for Sosu. 54 are voting for their own candidate, and 24 are voting for the independent candidate. Wow. So you can see where the problem is coming from. Yeah. It's not just winning in fringes area. Look at the NDC. 22% are voting for Sosu. NDC, 22%. 7% are voting for MPP. And 66% are voting for the independent candidate. That is where the problem comes from. Right. He's losing the NDC base. He must watch out. Now, when it comes to floating voters, 23% for Sosu, 23% for MPP, and 45% for the independent candidate. Wow. 45%. Among those who said they support other parties, Sosu 18%, MPP 9%, independent 73%. Look, those who did not disclose their party affiliation, Sosu lead 56%, MPP 16%, and the independent candidate 16%. So he's leading among those who do not disclose their party affiliation.
Right.
Next. Now, very interesting. Now, this is where the secret lies. Look at the ethnic bloc and voting.
Right.
Asante Akan, Sosu, 30%. MPP, 40%. Independent candidate, 27%. Among the Guans, Sosu, 19. MPP, 29. Independent candidate, 45. Ganadangbe, 24. Sosu, 26 for MPP, and 48 for the independent candidate. Look at the error vote. 31% for Sosu, 14% for MPP, and 45.
Wow.
45 for the independent candidate. So this problem is coming from within.
Yes. So you are saying, I mean, essentially what this is telling us is that this is an internal issue.
Yes.
It is basically an internal
Absolutely,
issue.
because MPP is not winning it.
Yes.
They're not leaving Sosu to go and vote for MPP. They are leaving Sosu to vote for the independent candidate. MPP will not win the seat from our calculation. But look at Mole Dagbani.
Okay, yes. Wow.
It's a whitewash everywhere among the ethnic groups. So to understand the data, look at this. Why should he be losing error votes? It's a big question.
Well, I could argue that, okay, they are discerning. I could just say.
Absolutely. So the issue goes beyond, he needs to understand what is going on in the constituency. They shouldn't poo-poo the poll, as I've heard them doing so. This is the data they need to know. And we have given them electoral areas. Data is there. Go there and find out. The numbers are not good for him. He must watch out.
Next slide, please.
Religion.
Religion is a big part, especially when you're talking about LGBTQ. And we know how the
Christians, 29% for Sosu. MPP, 34% among Christians. And 32% for Christians for the independent candidate. The Muslims, look at it. It's 10% for Sosu, 14% MPP, and 68% for the independent candidate. Who is a Muslim? I don't know. I think he's a Muslim. So here, the religion is going against Sosu in this context. If this guy goes independent, that will be his challenge. Traditional believers, 15% for Sosu, 15 MPP, and 54 for the independent candidate. Others, religion, 31% for Sosu, 33% for MPP, and 31% for the independent candidate. Those without religion, 23% for Sosu, 32 for MPP, and 44% for the independent candidate. Okay. We have given them enough data. Right. They should go and do their own homework.
Okay. All right, then. Is that all?
That's it.
Okay. So let me tell you something. We're going to have a detailed discussion on this in our subsequent, bulletins or programs. Maybe Good Afternoon Ghana. We will talk more about it. So they extensively, study the data. But have you? I'm just want to know. Have you shown this? Has he seen it?
He must have seen it by now.
He might have seen it by now. He might have
seen
it.
People sending me messages and calling me and querying the methodology and approach and the sample size. And I said, look, these are the views of the people from 9 electoral areas who were randomly picked on the street, not in their own homes or in the mosque or churches, on the street of your constituency. And that is their view. Watch out.
Okay, I don't know if this is a fair question before we take a break, but I still want to ask you about, so what would you say? Does he have time? To turn things around?
We have 17 months to go before the election. And it's not the only one. There are other areas that the numbers are very, very bad for many people who thought or who think they are comfortable in their constituency, but it's not.
All right. Executive Director for Global InfoAnalytics, MUSSA DANKWA, thank you very much for joining us in the studio. I know this is rushed, but we'll have you and discuss more in details and look at other constituencies as well. So Medina is not looking good for NDC, but NPP is not winning either. It's rather an independent candidate. What is he doing right? What has he done right?